Hey guys, it is Scare back with another video, and today's video I'm going to show you guys how to create your own free localhost Canon test server. So this is really good since you get your own Canon server for free and it's on your computer, meaning that no one else can access any of the Canons you make, so it's got some really good privacy benefits as well. So to get started, you want to drag all those files that are in the description below. So it should be a RAR file, and it should have all these files in there. So you want to drag these onto your desktop, and right click new folder, and type in Ion. Now before I get started on this, so all these here are basically our plugins. So these are very basic plugins that we need for the server. Well, some of them we don't really need, but it's nice to have. Then we have our config files. So I've already configured them myself, so it works for Canon in. And then we have our start file, which launches a server. And we have our Canon jar, which is called Ion. So Ion is, in my opinion, the best open source spigot right now, and is by SK. So you can get it from here on his repo. But yeah, it's the best in my opinion right now. And SK is the guy who did Crystal's jar, and obviously it's not the same. But in my opinion it's the best. But as you can see, you can't download the Java file directly. You need to download all of this, so basically all the source, and then compile and use git bash and maven, and it gets a bit difficult as well. So what I've done is I've already compiled it for you guys into this file here. And one last thing before we get started, make sure you have Java installed, so obviously you can run these files here. So what you want to do is drag these two files into your folder, and you want to right click start, edit, and 4096 is what you'll see. So this is basically how much memory you've allocated to the server. So this is in megabytes, so 4096 obviously meaning 4 gigabytes. If you want less, you can always do 2048 or 1024. But minimum 1024, and you can have up to like, depends how much RAM you want really. Just make sure you don't go over half your computer's memory. If you're not sure what you're doing at this part, just leave it as 4096, and yeah. So do file save if you made any changes, and now you want to run the start file. Now you might get some errors here. So best way to resolve them is obviously Google search them, because I'm not going to go through all the possible errors you'll get here. But if you can't find a solution, just comment down below and I'll help you out. Now you should get this error, so this is a good error. I should say failed to load euler.txt, you need to agree, blah blah blah. Press any key, and when I open up that text file, so the euler.txt, and you want to change true to, false to true, file save, and then you want to run the start file again. So now that we've gotten rid of that Euler thing, it's basically going to build the server, so the worlds and all the important files. And yeah, so once you've seen timings reset, you want to type in OP, and you want to OP whatever account or IGN you're going to be using. So I'm going to be using Scare, so I'm going to type in OP Scare. And then after that, you just want to type in stop, and this will stop the server. Now what you want to do is drag these 4 config YML files and drag them in there. And you want to make sure you click replace, so replace the files in the destination. And once that's done, open up your plugins folder and drag all of these plugins in. And then once that's done, you want to run the server again. So all those plugins that we've just dragged in there, some of them are very outdated. So I'll be doing a second follow-up video on this. This will basically be covering how to edit the configs. So the very advanced part, I guess. And as well as a more advanced plugins that you may want to use, and better plugins. But yeah, once you've seen timings reset, type in stop again. That'll close the server. And I'm going to edit one config. So I'm going to go into plugins, TNT protection, and open up this config YML file, and it'll say protection block bedrock. So this is basically think of it as emerald on Canon servers, where if you have emerald covering a cannon or underneath a cannon, it won't blow up. So obviously we can't use bedrock because otherwise, the whole world is covered in bedrock, so nothing will blow up. So you want to change this to like anything reasonable. I like to do sandstone personally, but you can do any block. But just make sure it's the actual name and not a ID. Like, I know quartz block has the ID of 155. Don't actually put the number, you're going to put the word in, otherwise it won't work. So once that's done, do file, save, close that, and then run the server again. So now that's it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to open up our Minecraft and connect to the server. So I've got my Minecraft up right now. So I'm going to go to multiplayer, add server, and call it whatever you want. So I'm going to just call it this. And for your server address, you can either type in localhost, or you can do 127.0.1, or any other fancy localhost IP. But just to be safe, just put localhost, click done, and then it should say a server is up. Now you want to click join server, and here we are. So now obviously everything looks a bit funny because I'm on a virtual machine, so everything's very zoomed in on my Minecraft because I haven't set it up. So just to prove that cannons are working, so just type in GMC for creative. I'm going to pick some TNT up. And we've also got welded obviously, so that's all working. But just to show that cannons are fixed. So as you can see, it stays in the same 1 by 1. It doesn't go to left or right. Blows up nice and well. And we set our protection block to be sandstone. So if we try putting sandstone on now, so if we put dirt here, TNT there, it shouldn't blow anything up. Well, it won't blow up anything, as you just see, just there. So that's pretty much it for this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed. And before I head off, I'm going to do a second follow-up video, I guess, as I said before. So in the second video, I'll be going over how to edit the configs, so the cannon in configs and all that. Because at the moment it's set to east to west on, like the east to west patch on. So I'm going to show you guys how to edit some of those things, and as well as going through some more advanced plugins. But that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed and have a nice day. See yous.